So, can anyone guess who this man is? Yes, and who was he coaching for?
Lakers.
Yes, yes, sir. And so Phil Jackson is a retired and NBA professional coach. And what makes this relevant to all of you? Phil Jackson was not just an NBA coach; he was also a teacher, a father. He had not taught his players not just basketball, but life as well. And you can apply to his lessons and for yourselves and to make yourselves a better person in life. And what gives me the right to have a saying in this type of person? Well, I'm a Lakers fan, and he's a Lakers coach, so you see the connection? That's it. And by learning about Phil Jackson, you're able to understand his personality and what he was like, and his philosophy as well. So right now I'll be discussing his coaching career. Secondly, I'll be discussing his philosophy. And third, I'll be discussing his success. Now, moving on to our first main point, we'll be discussing his coaching career. And what was he like as a coach? Well, in 2014, in one of the articles of Phil Jackson's biography channel website, it states that Phil Jackson was one of the greatest coaches in the NBA. And his coaching career started around 1989 with the Chicago Bulls. And in over 9 seasons, he won 6 championship rings. And what makes him a great coach is that he brought a dynasty to that team. The Chicago Bulls became a storied franchise team because of Phil Jackson. And in addition, after the 1998 season, Phil Jackson took a break for 1 year, and he recoached again with the Lakers in 2000. And he won 5 more championships in over 11 seasons. And so now that we've finished discussing about his coaching career, let's move on to our second main point. And in the second main point, we'll be discussing his philosophy. And Phil Jackson was not just an NBA coach, he was also a spiritual leader. In one of my sources on January 18, 2012, in one of the articles of Phil Jackson's coaching philosophy, Phil Jackson stated that the key to great performance is having an empty mind and not thinking when playing. So what he's really saying is that if you think too hard about a certain task, then you tend to lose your focus and your concentration. And let's say during the game, Phil Jackson wants to call a timeout because his players are stressed out, nervous, they're losing probably. And he'll tell them, relax, take a deep breath, and just play the game. And in addition, he also wants his players to sacrifice individual effort for team effort. So as a coach, he's all about mind, intelligence, and focus. Now we've finished discussing about his philosophy. Let's move on to our third main point. And in our third main point, we'll be talking about his success. And in 2004, in one of the articles of Phil Jackson's highly notable sports figures, it stated all the awards and accomplishments that Phil Jackson has made, which are 11 championship rings as a coach, the Coach of the Year in 1996, first coach to lead 2 teams to multiple titles, and the first coach to have the best winning percentage in the NBA. And so that's what he's all about. He's all about having success, and that's his pedigree as well. And having 11 championship rings as a head coach, which is the most in the NBA, and that would go down to the history books in the NBA, and his name will be mentioned throughout history. And in his recent accomplishment was around 2010 with the Lakers against the Celtics, which he won his 11th ring as well. And now that we discussed his success, let's just wrap things up a bit. By learning who Phil Jackson is, you'll be able to understand his philosophy and what he is and his personality as well. So we discussed that his coaching career, his philosophy, and his success. Now, I hope that all of you will get to know Phil Jackson a bit more, and probably you don't know him that well, but I hope that get to know his philosophy, because his philosophy can help you in some way. Like giving out a speech, if you're nervous before giving out a speech, Phil Jackson would tell you, relax, take a deep breath, empty your mind, and don't think too much about it, And that's all I have, folks. Thanks.